They say when a man truly falls for you, you won't need to chase loud declarations or dramatic gestures. You'll just need to watch closely, because love, real love, often shows up in silence. You might be wondering why he hasn't said anything, why he never confesses, never admits how he feels, never makes a bold move. But here's the truth. Not every man falls in love with fireworks and speeches. Some fall slowly, quietly, carefully. And instead of shouting, "I love you," they show it in the tiniest ways. A lingering look, a message at the right moment, a simple gesture that means everything if you're paying attention. He might not tell you with words, but his actions are already speaking, loudly, consistently, and from the heart. This kind of man doesn't want to say too much until he's sure it's safe, until he's sure you feel it too. So he becomes more present. He remembers the little things you say. He checks in even when there's nothing urgent. He stands up for you in rooms you're not even in. And when it's time to say goodbye, he takes a little longer, hoping you'll feel what he can't quite say yet. But here's what you need to know. His silence isn't indifference, it's vulnerability. Because for a man who truly cares, love doesn't start with a grand confession. It starts with a choice to show up, to listen, to respect, to be there again and again, even when there's no spotlight on him. These silent signs are not random. They're not by accident. They are quiet truths, small windows into a heart that's slowly opening. And if you've ever wondered, is he falling for me, but didn't know how to tell, you're in the right place, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover 15 silent but powerful signs that reveal a man is quietly falling in love, even if he hasn't said a single word. These aren't just behaviors, these are emotional signals, real, raw, and deeply human. So take a breath, listen closely, and think of that one person who comes to mind as you hear each sign. Because by the end of this, you might realize he didn't need to say it. He was already showing it. Let's begin. 1. He remembers the little things you say. He remembers the little things you say. And that alone can speak louder than any love confession. It's not about grand gestures or poetic words. It's about how he stores your smallest thoughts like treasures. Maybe you casually mentioned your favorite childhood snack, a dream city you want to visit, or the name of your first pet. Weeks later, he brings it up without prompt. That's not random. That's intention. Men who are quietly falling for you often pay attention in ways that feel invisible, until they're not. He's not doing it to impress you. He's doing it because he genuinely cares about what matters to you. He listens deeply, even when it doesn't look like he's trying. The things that make you smile, the things that make you pause, the things that make you sigh. He notices all of it, and he remembers. Maybe you're having a rough day, and suddenly he sends a song you once said makes you feel better. Or he texts you a reminder about something only you two once talked about late at night. It's not about showing off. It's about showing up in small, consistent ways that say, "You matter to me." When someone really likes you, they don't forget the details. Your birthday isn't just marked on the calendar, it's circled in their heart. They remember how you take your coffee, which hand you use to fix your hair when you're nervous, and the exact way your voice changes when you talk about something you love. These quiet acts of memory are loud signs of emotional investment. A man who remembers what you said during a random conversation isn't just being polite. He's making space for you in his mind, and that's often where love begins. It may not be flashy. It may not come with fireworks. But the man who remembers the little things you say is already falling, quietly, deeply, and truly. 2. He mirrors your body language. He mirrors your body language, not by accident, but because he's emotionally in sync with you. When someone is quietly falling for you, they often start to reflect your posture, gestures, and movements without even realizing it. It's a subconscious connection that signals comfort, trust, and a desire to feel closer. You cross your arms, he crosses his. You tilt your head while listening, he does too. You lean in slightly during conversation, and a moment later, he mirrors that exact lean. These aren't coincidences. They're nonverbal signs of emotional alignment. His body is responding to yours, quietly telling you, I feel what you feel. Mirroring is one of the most powerful forms of silent communication. It shows that he's paying attention not just to your words, but to your presence. He wants to connect on your level, and your body is the guide. He isn't performing for you, he's reflecting you. That's how you know it's real. This kind of mirroring builds rapport. It creates an unspoken rhythm between two people, a harmony that doesn't need to be explained. If you laugh and he leans in, if you rest your chin in your hand and he does the same, he's not mocking you, he's matching you. And matching is a form of bonding. Even in a group setting, you might notice it more clearly. While others are just talking, he's unconsciously syncing with you. It's his way of staying emotionally connected, even when nothing romantic is being said. In moments of stillness or conversation, he stays attuned because he's drawn to your energy. A man who mirrors your body language is drawn to you on a deep level. He's not just observing you, he's aligning with you. And when a man's body starts to speak your language without words, his heart may already be doing the same. 3. He finds excuses to be near you. He finds excuses to be near you, and that's no coincidence. When a man is quietly falling for you, his presence becomes intentional, even if he hides it behind casual reasons. He might not say, I miss you out loud, but he'll show up where you are, stay longer than needed, or invent reasons to be around you. It's his silent way of saying, I want to be close. Maybe he suddenly needs help with something simple, something you both know he could easily do himself. Or he swings by your desk at work more than usual, asking about projects that don't even involve him. Maybe he shows up at events he never used to care about, just because you'll be there. He'll phrase it as coincidence, but his timing is always perfect. Too perfect. Even in crowded rooms, he'll find a way to sit near you. When it's time to pair up for something, he always seems to end up with you. If you're in the kitchen, he suddenly needs a drink. If you're going outside for air, he just happens to have the same idea. His nearness is his comfort zone, because being around you brings him peace, even if he doesn't fully understand why. This kind of behavior is deeply emotional. A man who makes consistent efforts to share your space, even for small moments, is trying to create a bond. He may not be ready to say how he feels, but he's already acting on it. His heart is ahead of his words. Pay attention to how often he just appears, how often his random visits line up with your routine. He's not stalking you, he's drawn to you, and being close, even in silence, is his way of feeling a connection. That's how men fall, not always with big gestures, but with small steps that bring them quietly, persistently closer. When he finds excuses to be near you, he's already made his choice. He wants your world to feel like home, because to him, it already does. He looks at you when you're not looking. He looks at you when you're not looking. And that glance carries more emotion than 1,000 words. When a man is quietly falling for you, his eyes speak before his mouth ever does. He watches you in moments when you're not performing, when you're just being yourself, laughing with someone else, focused on a task, lost in thought. It's in those quiet glimpses that his feelings slip through. You might catch him looking, and the second your eyes meet, he looks away, fast. That's not guilt. That's vulnerability. He's afraid you'll see just how much he cares, how much you already matter to him. It's in that tiny panic, that quick retreat, that you can sense the depth of what he's feeling but trying to hide. Sometimes his eyes stay just a second too long before you notice. Sometimes when you speak, he watches your lips instead of just listening to your words. Other times, when everyone else is distracted, he's the one still looking. Quiet, still, captivated. Not by what you wear, but by how you exist. These lingering glances aren't about desire alone. They're about admiration. He sees something in you he can't look away from. Strength, softness, depth, or maybe something he hasn't quite figured out yet. But whatever it is, it pulls him in, silently and completely. When someone looks at you like that, not for attention, not to flirt, but just because they can't help it, it's one of the purest signs of hidden affection. His eyes find you in a crowd. His gaze softens around you. And when you catch him, he smiles nervously or looks away with a little shake of his head. But the message is clear. You're on his mind, even when you're not trying to be. The eyes don't lie. They linger where the heart feels most safe. And if he watches you when you're not looking, it's because part of him already knows. He's falling, quietly, deeply, completely. He gets nervous when you're around. He gets nervous when you're around, not because he's unsure of you, but because he cares too much. When a man is quietly falling for you, your presence shifts his energy. He may be confident around everyone else, but suddenly fumbles his words, avoids too much eye contact, or plays with his hands when it's just you. That nervousness isn't weakness, it's vulnerability trying to stay hidden. You might notice him laugh a little too loud at your jokes, or clear his throat before speaking to you. Maybe he fixes his shirt more than once, double-checks his breath, or stares at his phone just to look busy. It's not that he doesn't want to talk. It's that he doesn't want to mess up what could be something real. His nerves come from a place of quiet hope. You mean more to him than he's ready to admit, and being near you makes him feel exposed, like you might see through his calm exterior and find the storm underneath. A storm of feelings he hasn't yet figured out how to express. And this isn't the same as being shy. Even outgoing men get nervous around someone they truly care about. It's not fear, it's emotional stakes. You matter. Your opinion matters. The way you react to him matters. And so, he overthinks, hesitates, and sometimes even pulls away. Not because he wants distance, but because he needs time to steady his heart. He may crack jokes to mask it, talk fast to cover silence, or retreat when things feel too intense. But every small sign of nervousness is actually a sign of investment. If he didn't care, he'd stay cool. But because he does, he shakes a little, emotionally, quietly, sweetly. So when he fidgets, blushes, or stumbles around you, don't take it lightly. That nervous energy? It's not just attraction. It's a heart trying hard not to fall too fast, but falling anyway, one anxious breath at a time. 6. He prioritizes your happiness. He prioritizes your happiness. Not because he's trying to impress you, but because your joy genuinely matters to him. When a man is quietly falling for you, he starts shifting his actions, his choices, even his schedule to make sure you feel good, heard, and cared for. It's subtle at first. Maybe he gives up something small to spend time with you, or changes his tone to match your mood. But soon it becomes a pattern you can't ignore. He listens when you speak, not just to respond, but to understand what makes you smile. Then, without making a big deal about it, he brings those things into your world. Maybe it's your favorite drink showing up when you didn't ask. Maybe it's him checking in after a hard day, or quietly stepping in when you're overwhelmed. He's not trying to be your hero. He's just tuned in to what makes you feel safe and seen. This kind of care isn't loud or performative. It's quiet and consistent. He puts effort into creating comfort for you, sometimes even without taking credit for it. He'll let you pick the restaurant, walk on the side of traffic without saying why, or stay late just because you look tired. He'll remember that you hate being left on red, so he texts back even when he's busy. Because how you feel matters more than his own convenience. You'll notice that in group settings, he still checks in with you. When things go wrong, he wants to know you're okay. And when something goes right in your life, he celebrates it like it's his own win. That's because your happiness, your peace, your laughter, your comfort gives him joy too. When a man prioritizes your happiness, even in small unspoken ways, it's one of the most sincere signs he's falling. Not with grand words, but with gentle choices. Because love doesn't always say, "I love you." Sometimes it just shows up, again and again, with kindness, patience, and quiet devotion. 7. He listens more than he talks. He listens more than he talks, and that silence is full of meaning. When a man is quietly falling for you, he wants to understand you more than he wants to impress you. He's not just waiting for his turn to speak. He's fully present, soaking in every word, every tone, every pause. It's not passive listening. It's active, focused, and deeply intentional. He leans in when you speak, nods in all the right places, and remembers details you barely recall saying. He isn't interrupting with stories about himself or trying to one-up your experiences. Instead, he gives space for you to open up, to feel heard, to feel important. That's because he values your thoughts and feelings more than his need to be seen. Even when the conversation shifts, he circles back to something you said earlier, because it stayed with him. He notices the emotion behind your words. He picks up on your energy, your silences, your changes in expression. And when you finish talking, he responds with thought, not with cliches, but with care. In a world full of noise, someone who listens more than they speak is rare. It means he's not just looking at you, he's seeing you. He wants to know who you are beyond the surface, and he understands that listening is how you build trust. He doesn't rush to fix everything or offer advice unless you ask. Sometimes he just listens and stays. This kind of listening creates connection. It makes you feel emotionally safe. And when a man chooses to give you that kind of attention, quietly, without ego, without demand, it's a sign his heart is already on your side. He doesn't need to talk over you to feel important. Your voice is enough. And by holding space for it, by making sure you're fully heard, he's showing you, in the gentlest, truest way, that he's already falling for you. Not through what he says, but through everything he's willing to hear. 8. He goes out of his way to help you. He goes out of his way to help you, not because he has to, but because he wants to. When a man is quietly falling for you, your struggles become his concern, and your comfort becomes his silent priority. He notices when you're overwhelmed, even if you don't say a word. And instead of standing by, he steps in, offering help in the most thoughtful, almost invisible ways. Maybe it's staying late to fix something you mentioned in passing. Maybe it's picking up something you forgot without you asking. Or it's offering to drive you somewhere even when it's completely out of his way. He doesn't make it dramatic. He doesn't announce it. He just does it. Quietly, consistently, because you matter to him. He sees opportunities to lighten your load and takes them, even when it costs him time, sleep, or effort. He pays attention to your needs, not just your words. When others say, "Let me know if you need anything," he's the one already doing it before you ask. That's not convenience, that's care. What makes it powerful is that he doesn't expect anything in return. He's not keeping score. He's not using his help to win your affection. Helping you just makes him feel closer. Because when he sees you smile, or breathe easier, or relax even a little, it fills something inside him too. In those moments, he may play it off like it's no big deal, but deep down, it is. Because when a man starts investing his time, energy, and effort into your peace without needing praise, attention, or credit, that's when you know. This isn't casual. This is someone quietly building a place for you in his life. His actions whisper what his words haven't said yet. I care. I've got you. I'm already falling. He notices subtle changes in your mood. He notices subtle changes in your mood, even the ones you try to hide behind a smile. When a man is quietly falling for you, he becomes attuned to your emotional shifts like a second heartbeat. He can sense when something's off, even if you're saying, I'm fine. And he doesn't brush it off. He leans in gently without pushing. Maybe your tone is just a little softer. Maybe your laugh doesn't land the same. Or maybe your messages get shorter. Your eyes lose their usual light, or you pause a second longer before answering. Others might miss it. He doesn't. Because he's paying attention, not just to what you say, but to how you feel beneath the surface. He might ask, "Are you okay?" in a voice that lets you know you don't have to pretend. Or he might not say anything at all, just send a message that brings comfort, play your favorite song, or quietly sit beside you until you're ready to talk. He adjusts his energy to meet you where you are, whether that means giving space or staying close. This kind of emotional awareness is rare. It's not learned, it's felt. It comes from caring deeply enough to notice what others overlook. A man who picks up on the small emotional cues, your silence, your sighs, your shift in posture, is someone who's already emotionally connected to you. It's in those quiet moments, where no one else sees you slip, that he becomes your soft landing. He doesn't need you to be perfect or happy all the time. He just needs you to be real, and he meets that honesty with understanding. When he notices the change in your mood before you even speak, that's not a guess. That's love in its quietest, most intuitive form. And it means he's not just falling for your smile, he's falling for your soul. 10. He smiles when your name pops up on his phone. He smiles when your name pops up on his phone. And it's more than just a quick reaction. It's a burst of warmth that spreads through his entire face. When he sees your name, his heart skips, even if it's just a text notification. That split second of joy is his unfiltered emotion leaking through, revealing how much you already mean to him. In that moment, everything else fades into the background. Work emails, group chats, the noise of the world. Your name alone brings a spark to his day. It's not about vanity or showing off. He might glance around to make sure no one saw him grin, then slip his phone back into his pocket as if nothing happened. Yet his smile lingers long after. That smile tells you that your voice, your words, your very presence lightens his mood. He might not send a reply right away, afraid of appearing too eager. But inside, he's replaying your last conversation, anticipating what you'll say next. It's like a secret thrill, knowing you reached out even before he reads the message. Over time, you realize this isn't random. If you hadn't texted for a day, he'd check his phone more often, hoping to see your name appear. And when it finally does, there's a subtle eagerness in his thumb as he unlocks the screen. That excitement isn't forced. It's genuine. It's the proof that his thoughts are never far from you, that he's invested in whatever you're about to say. When others see him lost in his phone, smile playing on his lips, they might think he's just scrolling social media. But you know the truth. He's waiting for you. In those stolen smiles, you find the purest confession. He doesn't need to text, "I miss you" 1,000 times when simply seeing your name ignites that honest happiness. His heart speaks through that smile, telling you exactly how deeply he cares, without ever saying a word. 11. He tries to impress you in quiet ways. He tries to impress you in quiet ways. The kind that don't scream for attention but whisper, "I hope you notice." When a man is quietly falling for you, he doesn't boast or brag. Instead, he lets his actions speak. He becomes more intentional, more thoughtful, and more aware of how he presents himself, not to the world, but to you. He might dress just a little sharper when he knows he'll see you, fixing his shirt or smoothing his hair before walking in. He may suddenly talk about a new skill he's learning, guitar, cooking, fitness, not to show off, but because he hopes you'll be impressed by the effort he's putting into becoming better. Sometimes he'll mention an accomplishment subtly, tucked into conversation, hoping you'll ask more. Other times, he simply lets you see him in action, solving a problem, helping someone, or showing kindness when he thinks you're watching. You'll notice it when he listens carefully and later brings up something to make you smile, like finding a restaurant you once said you liked, or referencing a quote from your favorite book. He's not trying to impress everyone. He's trying to impress you specifically. And he does it with care, not ego. Sometimes it's in the little challenges he takes on, carrying the heavy stuff without being asked, fixing something that's broken before you even mention it. Other times, it's in the way he subtly supports you in front of others, or remembers a small detail no one else would. These aren't random acts, they're quiet offerings. Not loud declarations, but gentle gestures meant to say, "Look, I'm someone worth noticing." He doesn't need applause. He just wants to see that flicker in your eyes, that moment where you realize he's trying, just for you. When a man tries to impress you in quiet ways, it means he's not after attention. He's after your admiration, because that, to him, means everything. 12. He respects your boundaries deeply. He respects your boundaries deeply. And that's one of the clearest signs he's falling for you in a mature, meaningful way. When a man truly cares, he doesn't just want you. He wants you to feel safe, seen, and honored in every interaction. That means he doesn't push, pressure, or guilt you into anything. Instead, he listens, accepts, and adjusts. If you say no to something, even softly, he hears it the first time. He doesn't try to change your mind, test your limits, or make you feel bad for having them. Whether it's emotional space, physical boundaries, time to yourself, or needing to move at your own pace, he doesn't take it personally. Why? Because he understands that love built on pressure isn't real love, and he's aiming for something real. This kind of respect is quiet but powerful. It shows up when he waits for your green light before opening up deeper topics, when he checks in before taking a step forward, when he offers his presence without demanding yours in return. He gives you freedom because he values your agency, and he trusts that if it's meant to grow, it will grow naturally. He's also careful with your emotional boundaries. He doesn't joke about things you've said hurt you. He doesn't use your past against you. And he doesn't manipulate your feelings just to stay close. He's protective, not possessive. Gentle, not entitled. You'll feel it in the way he makes space for your voice. He doesn't interrupt when you speak. He doesn't try to fix you. He just listens, respects, and holds room for your truth. That's not just affection. That's character. When a man respects your boundaries without needing to be told twice, it means he sees your value clearly. He isn't falling for who he wants you to be. He's falling for who you are. And his quiet respect is his way of saying, "I'm here, on your terms, at your pace." And that's more than enough for me. 13. He checks in on you without a reason. He checks in on you without a reason. And that says everything. When a man is quietly falling for you, he doesn't wait for a crisis, an event, or an excuse to reach out. He texts just to say hi, calls just to hear your voice, or sends a message like, "Thinking of you, how's your day?" Not because something happened, just because you happened in his thoughts, in his day, in his heart. He's not trying to fix anything or get anything. He just wants to stay connected. Maybe it's a voice note after a long day, a "did you eat" message during your busy afternoon, or a meme that made him think of you. It's not dramatic, but it's consistent. His check-ins are small lifelines, gentle reminders that you're on his mind, even in quiet moments. And it's not only when things are going wrong. Sometimes he checks in just to make sure you're smiling, that you got home safe, that you're okay after a tough meeting. He remembers the little stress points in your life and circles back, not because he has to, but because he wants to. This kind of attention is rare. It shows you matter even when you're not in front of him. That his care doesn't turn on and off with convenience. It's steady, thoughtful, genuine. You don't have to earn his presence. He gives it freely. He may not say, "I love you" yet. But the man who checks in without needing a reason is already loving in the ways that count. He's showing you, through every casual message and random call, that your existence is important to him. And sometimes that quiet voice in the middle of your day saying, "Just wanted to hear from you," is louder than any love letter. Because when he checks in with no reason at all, that's the reason. You matter. You're on his mind. And his heart is already reaching for yours. He subtly defends you in conversations. Not to win points, but because he can't stay silent when someone disrespects you, even slightly. When a man is quietly falling for you, your name carries weight in his heart. So, if someone teases you unfairly, questions your choices, or makes light of your feelings, he steps in, gently but firmly, to redirect the tone. It may not be loud or dramatic. He might change the subject when things start to feel uncomfortable. He might say something like, "She actually works really hard, you know." Or, "That's not really fair to say." It's small, but in those few words, he draws a line that says, "You don't get to talk about her like that in front of me." He notices when jokes cross a line, when you're being misunderstood, when others overlook your worth. And even if you're not in the room, he'll speak in a way that protects your name, your reputation, your dignity. That's not just kindness, that's emotional loyalty. That's his heart choosing to stand on your side, even when you're unaware. What makes it powerful is the subtlety. He's not trying to embarrass anyone or turn it into a big moment. He's not defending you to make himself look good. He does it because deep down, he already sees you as someone worth standing up for, someone who deserves to be spoken about with respect. You'll notice it in the way he corrects misunderstandings about you, calmly, without making a scene, the way his voice changes slightly when others cross a line, and the way he treats your absence as if you're still present, still worth protecting. When a man quietly defends you in conversations, it means he's emotionally invested. It means he's watching, listening, and caring in real time. He might not say he loves you yet, but his loyalty says it for him. Because the heart always shows itself, especially when it steps between you and harm. He lingers during goodbyes. And that pause says more than words ever could. When a man is quietly falling for you, endings become harder. Whether it's after a casual hangout, a long phone call, or a simple walk to your door, he doesn't want the moment to be over. So he stalls, in subtle, tender ways that show he's not ready to let go just yet. Maybe he double-checks that you got everything from the car. Maybe he laughs again at something you just said, giving the moment one last stretch. Or maybe he stands there in silence, looking at you like he's searching for a reason to stay, even if just for a few seconds longer. His body doesn't move, even though the conversation has ended. That hesitation, it's his heart resisting the distance. He might pretend there's something else he forgot to say, or bring up one last thought just to hold the door open between you a little longer. And if it's over the phone or a text, he'll say, "Good night," then reply again with, "Just one more thing." Because some part of him doesn't want the line to go silent. These lingering moments aren't awkward. They're heavy with feeling. He's savoring the time, trying to hold on to the warmth of your presence just a little longer. And if he's brave, he might even walk away slowly, turning back for one last look, one last smile, the kind that stays with you long after he's gone. When a man lingers during goodbyes, it means being with you feels better than being apart. It means the connection is real, and it means his heart is starting to realize that your presence, your voice, your smile, your energy is something he doesn't want to walk away from. So if he doesn't rush the goodbye, if his steps slow and his eyes hold on a moment longer, don't overlook it. That's not hesitation. That's attachment. That's the quiet ache of falling for someone, one unspoken goodbye at a time.